I mentioned Art DeCesar had said that Alabama was getting a lot of love, both from the Sharps and the Publics. I took BYU plus 5.5 early in the week. I've thought about getting off of it at this point.
Yeah, I like the team total for Alabama in this game. I do. And, this is a game that should be a high-scoring game just based on the total. And we've seen the movement go from the opening number of 171 to, last I checked, 175, which is a huge move in a Sweet 16 game, especially on a total, especially a total that high. But anyway, BYU defensively over their last 5, they've allowed opponents to make 12 three-point shots per game. And they're making 37.3% of their three-point shots against BYU over the last 5. This is a BYU team that's gone 8-1 in their last 9, red hot, Kelly, and I'm sure that came into play when you made your bet today. But they've given up 81 points or more in 5 of those 9 games, and now they're about to face a team that plays at the fastest offensive tempo in the country, a team that's, I believe, the highest scoring team in the country. And Alabama has played 8 games this year with a total of 170 to 180, and they averaged 95.5 points per game in those contests. This is an Alabama team that's also scored 91 points or more 17 times this year and 100 points or more on 8 of those occasions. And again, BYU, they're going to be a willing dance partner. They play at a slow offensive pace or mid-range offensive pace in the national scale. But by the same token, Alabama very good at speeding opponents up. And this BYU team, I think they're going to be, they'll welcome the opportunity to go up and down the floor. And I like Alabama here over their team total of 90.5. Now, having said that, Cal, I still think you have an excellent opportunity to cover this game, even with Alabama, me going over that team total of 90.5, because if Alabama has an enigma, it's certainly on the defensive side of the floor, and they send teams to the free throw line an awful lot as well, playing their aggressive defensive style. So Alabama over 90.5, folks, for me, on their team total.
Yeah, Ross, that was kind of what I was looking at. This Alabama team, I'm not going to say anything bad about them because offensively they are a juggernaut. We know exactly what we're going to get from them. But unfortunately, from time to time, they live and die by the 3. And if their threes aren't falling, and even sometimes when they are, like against teams like Florida, right? Both times against Florida, Mizzou, right? These high-scoring affairs, you can't always just win by outscoring your opponent. You've got to show up defensively. You also mentioned from the charity stripe, they have some issues there, and they turn the ball over more than a team I want to be laying points with here. I know BYU also has its set of turnovers, but I think I'm with you. Look, team total over, both team totals over, game over, and that doesn't always bode well for plus the points here, but I do like this BYU team offensively. I think they're going to get short buckets. They're going to be able to knock down threes as well. So I did take the points here. I thought that hook was just a little too much. Not a ton of value, but I think that BYU can slow down Alabama, and we'll see if they can't keep it within the 5. And we'll leave it at that.
Well,
Again, not a play to love.
Down, but I hope you cover. So
thank you. Yes. We'll see. And I don't think those two things bode well for one another. Like I said, I've thought about getting off this BYU play since I basically made it. I made it earlier in the week, and I thought, I like Texas Tech a lot more. So let's talk about that Texas Tech team versus Arkansas and kind of answer some of these questions in the chat. I love Texas Tech. This is the only game that I bet 2 units on, Ross. So I'm curious as to your opinion, this entire matchup. I've only bet 1 unit on every single college basketball play because I didn't really find a lot of value. I like Grant McCaslin's squad. Offensively, they are a team that I want to back. They make their free throws. They don't turn the ball over. They don't create fouls. They are one of those really experienced teams that I think is going to stifle this Arkansas team who's kind of caught lightning in a bottle over the last 2 games. 2 outright underdog wins, but they don't hit 3-point shots. They don't get rebounds. They just play really fast. And I think they were able to capitalize against a KU team that has seemed to overall just quit on the season. St. John's, one of those teams that was playing above their level all season long. And guess what? When your best player cannot hit their buckets, when you live and die by him, guess what's going to happen? You're going to lose to a team named Arkansas. Give me your thoughts kind of on this matchup, Ross.
Yeah, I put out a free pick video on this game yesterday, and I took Texas Tech, laying a 5.5 for a lot of the reasons you just alluded to, Kelly. And the thing is with Arkansas, yeah, a big upset against St. John's, right? But I don't know, Kelly. St. John's was a team that was. It was just a matter of time. I mean, the way they shoot the ball so poorly, they win by doing all the little things, but eventually you're not going to go deep in the NCAA tournament with those kinds of shooting percentages they've had all year. And look, they shot 28% against Arkansas. That's not going to happen with Texas Tech. This is too balanced of a team, offensively and defensively. Look, here's the thing, too. Arkansas, even though they're on a nice run over their last 5 or 6 games, especially the first 2 in the NCAA tournament, they're still 11-11 over their last 22 games. Now, the pundit will say, well, they played in the SEC, Ross. Well, you're absolutely right. The strength of schedule certainly speaks volumes when you play in the SEC and you reach this point of the season. However, Texas Tech played in the Big 12, and I think the Big 12 was, in my opinion, the second best conference in America, and Texas Tech had a pretty good season in the Big 12. I just think I like this Texas Tech team. I really, really said at the beginning of the tournament that I thought this is a team that's capable of making a deep run. I'm not going to change my mind here. I think Texas Tech wins this game and wins it handily.
But Ross Benjamin, WagerTalk.com, give everybody a little promotion before we let you go.
Yeah, I mean, I started the tournament with a bad day in the opening day. 7-2-1 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in the NCAA tournament. 3 picks tonight. They're up right now. You can get them all in the same package for $29. And I'll have more picks up later today for tomorrow. And so my NCAA tournament last year, I finished number 2 at WagerTalk, 61% winners and over 2,800 of profit. And I started the same way last year with a bad first day, and then I just, from the second round on, made a killing, and I'm on that path again, Kelly. So check me out, Ross, at WT.buzz/RB. And my NBA, don't go to sleep on the NBA. 60% winners since the middle of November, going back to February 23rd of last year, over 7,300 in profit. 58% win rate over the last 13 months. So NBA making a killing as well, folks. So don't go to sleep on the NBA. If I put something out in the NBA right now, especially the last 2 weeks of the year, where I like to really slow it down for obvious reasons, take advantage of those offers as well.